Veteran broadcaster and journalist Xolani Gwala has been laid to rest at his home at Impendle in the KwaZulu-Natal midlands this afternoon. The Special Provincial Official Funeral wrapped up with police escorting the casket to the hearse. The first part of the funeral started with family, friends and colleagues paying tribute to him. Mourners described him as a hardworking and humble individual who was a fierce champion of the country's democracy. Gwala died last week after succumbing to colon cancer. He'd been battling the disease for 2 years.
Whenever we think of our dad, the first thing that comes to mind was his contagious laugh. He was a happy person who could make anyone, including us, smile from ear to ear. He'd always tell us cringe-worthy dad jokes, which we'd always tell him we hated but secretly loved. Something we really admired about our father was how understanding he was. Whenever we tell him something we were sure would infuriate him, he would always listen with intent, understanding, and absolutely no judgment. This made it easier for him not only to be our dad, but to be a best friend. Dad was a generous and caring person whose family and friends meant the absolute world to him. If anything, he taught us how to be there for each other, through thick and thin, unconditionally. So to you, Dad, we say thank you. Thank you for everything you've taught us, for everything you've given us, and the love you've shown us. None of it can compare. Thank you.
This is a letter from Makumalo to Xolani. Xolani, my love, you became my best friend. I've known you as a smooth yet stern TV and radio host. Up close, you were smooth, gentle and loving. You showed me the kind of love that dreams are made of. I rested in your arms, knowing that for the first time in my life, I had found a soulmate. You were inspiring, both in public and even more so in private. You brought moral clarity to everything you did, and your purpose was clear and pure, to help those among us who needed it the most. You planned fun outings, mostly to KZN, and you introduced me to the much cooler music than what I thought I knew. Your favorite song on those long drives, meandering the mountains and the hills of Impendle, to this land we are standing on today, was Say Now by Zonke. Beautiful memories I'll cherish for life. We had 2 truly joyful years of the deepest love, happiest times, and truest partnership that I could never have imagined for myself, Xolani. My love, you gave me a beautiful feeling of being deeply understood, truly supported, and completely and utterly loved, and I will carry that with me always. Most importantly, you gave me the most amazing children in the world. I am so sad that our girls, especially Setu, who really never knew his healthy father. Xolani, you were my rock. When I got upset, you stayed calm. You were completely dedicated to our children in every way, and their strength this past few days is the best sign that I could have that you are still here with us in spirit.
Former colleagues also paid tribute to Gwala.
I want to help you as the community where Xolani grew up and many of you knew him as a child, to know that he represented this community incredibly well. When he got to Gauteng, when he got to the big city, when he got to the big lights, he never forgot where he came from. He stayed humble. And Xolani, you knew, growing up here, was the same Xolani in Gauteng, in Johannesburg, behind the microphone, on the radio. And that is very hard to do, because when you are in a big city, when you have so many different things, when you make more money, people change. He didn't change. And I think that is something, as we at Prime Media and 702 had the benefit of knowing him as a professional, as a broadcaster, we'll never forget about him. This humility, this need to strongly fight for those who don't have the voice. That was always something that drove him. And you can be proud, the community of Impendle can be proud, his parents, his siblings, Umakumalo, the children can be proud that he never lost that touch that he had, that feeling that he needed to represent the people.
As the SABC, we're very humbled that we played such a critical role in grooming Xolani to the person that he later became. We played a huge role as well in shaping his career. Who's a figure now? Xolani arrived at the SABC in the late 90s as a very young man who was very ambitious, who was very, very brilliant, very respectful, but very naughty as well. Ubongi has just mentioned one transgression that Xolani did. There are many others, but we won't talk about them today. But from the moment Xolani set foot in that newsroom, we knew there and then that we had a gem. He was just different. He was good. He was very polished, and he proved us correctly, because he grew up and became the broadcaster that he is, or that he has been. From the SABC, he then moved on and joined EP4. EP4 was a regional station based in Durban. I think it later changed its name and then moved on to Johannesburg as well. A lot of you will remember him doing programs like Asikhulume on TV, doing programs on radio and SAFM, reading news with SABC 1 and SABC 3. And that is where Xolani made his major contribution, because he kept reminding us, he kept reminding everyone